Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on
Bridget Jones. It's time to live.
in terms of my kind of whole relationship with the Bridget Jones movies. I had actually never watched any of them up until this new fourth movie was coming out. So in the lead up to this fourth Bridget Jones movie, I decided to give those first three movies a watch. Now the first Bridget Jones, I have to say, I love that movie, if I'm going to be honest. I'm very glad, I did give Bridget Jones' Diary a watch because, man, it's honestly a great film. It's a great comedy, alright. It's a really well told story with plenty of funny humor. Yeah, I honestly really enjoyed, that first Bridget Jones movie. Now, in terms of the two sequels, the second and third movie, personally, I think the sequels are both okay. They're not great in my opinion. They are definitely step downs from the first Bridget Jones, I will admit, but honestly, I don't hate the sequels. Even the second one, because I know a lot of people hate the second Bridget Jones movie. It does have its flaws, but I honestly just couldn't help but kind of enjoy it, to be honest. And yeah, the same goes for the third movie. I think the third film is kind of flawed in some areas, but honestly, I still do enjoy it. Had honestly a generally positive viewpoint on the Bridget Jones movies. I love the first one, and even though I don't love the sequels, I still think they're okay. But anyway, this new Bridget Jones, this fourth one, Mad About the Boy. Well, the thing is, this movie has already been out in Ireland for 2 weeks now, as of me recording this review. But I did, go to see this when it came out in Ireland, because I mean, it's cool that we actually got this movie in cinemas, because I'm pretty sure over in the US they actually didn't give this fourth Bridget Jones movie a theatrical release. I'm pretty sure they just released it on Peacock over in the US, but over in Ireland and the UK, we actually got the movie in cinemas, which is cool. But I went to see it in the cinema for myself there nearly 2 weeks ago now when it came out. But yeah, having seen Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy for myself now, what did I think of it? Honestly, I have to say, I really liked this film. I really did like this new Bridget Jones movie. For me, in terms of where I'd rank it of the Bridget Jones films, for me, I think this is honestly my second favorite. I don't like it as much as the first movie. I still think that first Bridget Jones movie is definitely the best. But honestly, I have to say, this new film, this fourth one, this is honestly my second favorite, I think. I have to say, I think this is easily the best Bridget Jones movie that we've gotten since the first one. I have to say, I actually really liked this movie. Getting further into my thoughts on it, well, first off, the cinematography, I think, is pretty good. Like, I mean, like, these movies have never really been, like, amazing in terms of cinematography. Like, they're shot pretty well, but, like, you know, there's no, like, outstanding shots, but honestly, I do think this one is pretty well shot. Like, you know, we do honestly have some nice looking shots in this film. I don't know if I can really like get into it too much, or if I can really like describe it all too much, but like I actually thought there was some like genuinely, you know, good shots in this film. There was actually some solid, you know, camera work in this movie. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than that, but I don't know, overall, I just think the cinematography in this movie is quite good. Um, in terms of the editing in this film, overall, the movie is edited pretty well. Like again, it's another kind of decently edited movie. It's not particularly absolutely amazing, but like, you know, I honestly think like they actually do some like pretty cool things kind of with like the editing in this one. Like, also the way that this movie was edited was actually quite solid. I thought they did a good job in like, you know, kind of in terms of like keeping it in style with, you know, like all the other movies, and like they did a good job with it here. And yeah, it was, you know, a well edited movie. Yeah, overall, I think the editing in the movie is quite good as well. Now, in terms of the film's pace, now this movie is kind of long enough. I'm pretty sure this film is 2 hours and 5 minutes. Which I'm pretty sure that's like ties with the third movie, Bridget Jones' Baby. I'm pretty sure like this and Bridget Jones' Baby are like the two longest movies in the series, you know, both being like over 2 hours. But like honestly, I think the movie actually did a solid job with the pacings. Like, I thought like the way that they paced the story and stuff, like it felt even. I don't think like they particularly like, rushed over a lot of things too much. Like, I honestly thought that, you know, they kind of, you know, did some kind of solid stuff with it. Like, I overall, like, I thought the movie was paced well enough, and like, even with this movie being slightly a little over 2 hours, I don't think you'll honestly really be all, you know, like that bothers like by the runtime and stuff, because like I think the movie goes by well enough, you know, to where you know, you're not gonna be like really all too bothered by it. And like as I mentioned, like yeah, like, but also it's just like a funny movie, like how I was like with how like well written the story is and stuff. Like, I think you'll just be able to like, you know, watch the movie well enough. I don't think like you'll really be bothered by the pacing here. So yeah, overall I have to say I actually thought they did a good job with the pace in this film. In terms of the sound and music, overall, I think the movie has a good score. Like, it actually was genuinely a pretty good score, and like, I thought honestly it actually fit with the movie quite well. And it is a genuinely solid job with it. Even kind of some of the like official like kind of licensed songs that we do hear in this film, like, aren't too bad. Like, this movie definitely carries on like the whole thing like with the other Bridget Jones movies when like they have like like actual like licensed songs in them. Like, this movie kind of carries on that whole kind of like style, and I think they did a solid job with this here. Like, overall, I think the music in this movie honestly is pretty good. I say it's not absolutely outstanding, but I think overall it's a good enough score for like what the movie needs and stuff. So yeah, the sounds and music in the movie was quite good. Now, in terms of the characters and the acting, now obviously we need to start with, of course, the titular character herself, Bridget Jones. Yes, this beloved British icon returns in her fourth outing, and I have to say, I really liked her arc in this one because in this movie she's a mother, but she's also a widow because her husband Mark has unfortunately passed away since the events of the third film. That's not a spoiler, like, that's a big part of the movie that Mark is dead now. But like, yeah, like, I have to say, like her kind of whole arc in this film, like, because ever since Mark has passed, she's kind of gone out of work, and now like she's getting back into work, and like, she kind of sort of starts to like date again. Like, I have to say, I honestly really liked what they did with her character in this one. Like, I have to say, I thought she honestly went through like a great and relatable arc in this one. I thought she was very well written. And of course, she is played once again by Renee Zellweger. And she once again does a great job. Like, I mean, she's like now in like her mid-50s, but like, she still knows how to play this character. Like, even with her being like 55 now, she pretty much proves that, she still understands this character. And yeah, she does honestly a great job in this film, especially really displaying like the arc that Bridget like has to go through in this one. I thought she did a great job with that once again, but yeah, honestly, I have to say Bridget was a really well written character in this one. I think she definitely went through her best arc since the first movie. Now, like, in terms of the supporting cast, like, we do have like a lot of like kind of some of the supporting characters from all the other movies. Like, even Mark, who has passed away in this one, we do actually see like kind of visions of him in Bridget's mind. But like a lot of the other characters, like, well, like Bridget's parents, well, her dad has actually also died, but like Jim Broadbent returns to reprise his character like in flashbacks before his death, and we see her mother as well, and like we also see like a bunch of Bridget's like friends and colleagues from all the other movies, and like, they're all pretty solid, just for, like, the amount of screen time that they get and for the roles that they play in this one. They all do pretty well, but, out of all the returning characters, like, the one returning character who, I was very happy to see return in this one is, of course, my man, Daniel Cleaver. Yeah, because Daniel returns in this movie because if you've seen the third film, Bridget Jones' Baby, like, obviously, he wasn't in that film, because they said that his character has died in that one until, at the spoilers at the very end of the movie, it turns out that he was actually still alive the whole time. But yeah, now he is back once again in this film, and honestly, I have to say, I really liked what they did with his character in this one, because, like, if you've seen those first two movies, and, like, his character is, like, honestly kind of an ass, but, like, they build upon his character a bit in this one, and, like, he kind of goes through a bit of a redemption arc in this one, where he actually decides to, like, be, like, nicer to Bridget, and even starts kind of an uncle for her children. I actually really liked what they did with it, but even then, like, he was still just funny as ever, and obviously he's once again played by the man himself, Mr. Hugh Grant, and yeah, he still does such a great job in this role. Like, as I said, I am still very grateful to have the same birthday as Mr. Hugh Grant, because he is fantastic as always. But that said, I liked all the other characters. They also, Emma Thompson is in this one as well, reprising her role as Dr. Rawlings from the third movie. I actually really liked her in this film. Like, she actually got some genuinely great laughs in this one from the scenes her character gets. I really enjoyed her character. Also, Bridget's two children, like, I mean, I found them to actually be pretty solid. I mean, I know kids' characters can maybe get, like, a bit annoying sometimes, but honestly, I wasn't really too annoyed, like, by these kids. Like, I mean, they act like little children, just kind of, they're a pair of little British kids, and, like, I mean, they're pretty solid, for what the movie needs. I don't think, like, they're overbearingly annoying and stuff. I think, like, they just get, like, the right amount of humor with them to work. So yeah, they were pretty solid. I don't get too much into the new characters. I thought the new characters were kind of alright for, like, what the movie needed. Like, we have kind of two kind of major new characters. First off, we have Rockstar, who is basically this young man who kind of shows up at, like, where Bridget works at, and, like, the two of them kind of begin a relationship. Like, his character was alright. Like, I mean, I thought, like, kind of, like, the whole kind of subplot with his character was solid enough. Now, granted, I do think, like, what they ended up doing with his character was maybe a bit predictable, if I'm gonna be honest, but, like, it was still alright. Like, he was an okay character. Like, his actor, Leo Woodall, did a solid job for what the script needed. Yeah, I thought he was alright. And the other new character is Mr. Scott Wallaker, who is one of Bridget's children's teacher, and yeah, like, I will say I did like his character a lot, and, like, kind of like his whole subplot with, like, how there's kind of a relationship with him and Bridget in this film, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually did genuinely really like him. That whole kind of subplot. Like, I have to say, he actually was like a genuinely, likable character. He was a good teacher, and like he was actually like a well written character, and of course he's played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who actually did a genuinely really good job in this film. Yeah, I have to say overall, the characters and the acting were honestly really solid. Like a lot of the legacy cast members like Renee Zellweger and Hugh Grant do very well returning to like these characters who they've played, and even like some of the newer cast members were solid, especially Chiwetel Ejiofor. So overall, the characters and the acting were honestly very solid. In terms of the plot with this one, as I said, it's taking place like some amount of years after the third movie, and Mark having died and Bridget's a widow, but like she gets back to work, and now she's trying to date again. Now, like, this might sound a bit familiar, I know, but honestly, I have to say, it was very well executed with this movie. And I thought they actually did, come up with a good story to carry on from the third movie. Because I know with the way the third movie, Bridget Jones' Baby, ended, it kind of seemed, like kind of that was where they were ending the story. That like there wasn't really, any need to carry on from there. But like, I have to say, I actually thought this movie did a really good job, like, actually, justifying its existence, like, actually, making it feel like a proper continuation, because, like, I actually really liked, the story that they came up with here. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think, like, there's actually some genuinely heartfelt moments, like, I mean, like, honestly, you could potentially, cry at this one. I could see, some people crying with this movie, especially, if they're really into films like this, because I'm not gonna lie, there actually, like, is some genuinely heartfelt moments in this film, and, like, yeah, I actually thought they did well, like, with all that aspect, but even then, don't get me wrong, this movie is still really funny. This film is very, very funny. There were times throughout this movie where, I was just laughing away at it. And not to mention, the audience that I saw this movie with, they really enjoyed it as well. Everyone was just laughing their way all throughout the movie, and like, I'll be honest, when I go to the cinema normally, like, my audiences never really tends to like react to the film. There might be like the odd time where like you'll have some audience members reacting, and the odd time where they might clap at the end of the movie, but my audiences generally don't really seem to react that much, but that wasn't the case with this film though, because my audience that I had for this showing, we were all just laughing our asses off watching this film, and trust me, if you enjoyed like all the previous movies, you will definitely enjoy this one as well, because even with the heartfelt moments, like, it's still just a genuinely really funny movie. Yeah, I honestly have to say, I thought they really did well with the humor in this film, still keeping it consistent with the other movies, also just being a really funny film in its own right, but like, I have to say, I really liked how they approach the plot with this film, because like how they continued this story on from the third movie, and like how they were able to tell a heartfelt story while still having plenty of humor. And in just terms of telling this character's story with her, getting back into life and stuff, it's genuinely a really like, well told and honestly very funny and heartfelt story. So yeah, I have to say they did very well with the plot. In terms of the film's narrative structure, because like obviously just like all the other movies, the film really does center on Bridget, with like how she's trying to get back into work and getting back into like dating, like I think they really do well with that and like really make it the main plot, because even with kind of some of like the relationships of like her relationship with Rockstar and with Mr. Wallaker, they do really well with it, and it does feel a bit familiar with some of the other movies, but I thought they did really well in terms of like telling it in its own right, making it feel justified in its own right. There is some kind of side stuff with like some other like characters, but like even then, I think they honestly did like a good job with it, just in terms of kind of making it feel like a pretty consistent narrative, which ultimately is centered on our titular character Bridget Jones. All the way like they were able to connect everything together was honestly really well done. But yeah, overall, I would say that the narrative structure in this movie was really good. Like in terms of as I said, how they connect everything together, how like we have different stuff going on, but still feels like a consistent narrative. They did very well with that. So overall, I have to say I really liked Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. And this is definitely my favourite Bridget Jones movie since the original. It actually carries on from the other movies really well. It tells a very good and relatable story. It's very heartfelt, but yeah, also very funny as well. And the cast honestly do very well, like in terms of like some of the returning cast members, even some of the new cast members. They all did very well. Yeah, overall, I have to say, I really liked this new Bridget Jones movie, and if this is, the last one, which it potentially probably will be, I thought they left this series off on a strong conclusion. So overall, I had a good time with this movie, and if you enjoyed the other Bridget Jones movies, I'd say you'll definitely enjoy this one, and even if you want like a good comedy, but if you want like a good like heartfelt story, you'll definitely get that with this one. So overall, this was a really good film, and it's definitely worth a watch. So with all that said, I'm going to give Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy an 8 out of 10. So with all that said, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.